TribLIVE Radio presents John Steigerwald and John Fedko every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Trib Total Media. See what's next.
All right, Mr. Fedko, we'll start you off with a boiling controversy in the United States of America, where I want you to weigh in on.
You're always trying to get me in trouble. Go
Little
ahead.
League Baseball, overexposed Little Leaguers. People are worried that these kids are getting too much.
How is that a boiling controversy?
I hear a lot of people saying, I see tweets and I see commentators, it's ridiculous that these kids are too much pressure on these 12-year-old
the
kids.
pressure thing is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, okay? But what isn't ridiculous is, are people really watching this? But you know what's funny?
Wait a minute. You want me to stop? I'll stop you there.
Go ahead, because that's the answer. Are people watching
The Little League World Series does not usually move the needle. But increased media attention resulted in several ratings milestones this year. ESPN, you'll see how much they're watching it.
Okay.
ESPN airs its two most watched Little League telecasts ever this year. Wednesdays, that's the girl who pitches for Las Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wednesday's Las Vegas-Philadelphia game.
No. She pitches for Philly, but go ahead.
Okay.
Against Las Vegas.
Yeah. Wednesday's Las Vegas-Philadelphia game topped the charts at 5 million viewers. Not only the largest LLWS that's Little League World Series audience in ESPN history, but the top audience for any baseball game on the network since Yankees-Red Sox in 2007.
Wow. Well, there's your answer.
5.3 million.
Okay.
Now, this girl has been Monet Davis.
Huh?
Is that how you pronounce it? Monet, I guess.
She was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. She's like the talk of the country, and that people are curious, want to tune in to see that, and that's understandable. But so I think with this comes a lot of discussion about the kiddies having too much pressure, and I don't. I see more pressure on them from the games that I go to with my hockey games with my grandsons playing, where the parents are yelling at them to skate, skate, get the puck out of there, and it's for 10-year-olds. They've created a memory for these kids that'll last a lifetime. Would you want to, when you were 12, would you have liked to play in a game this big? I sure as hell would.
Absolutely, and look. Pressure that's ridiculous. If people are watching it, and that's with
40,000 people at the game now.
and you know what, it's great spectacle. I know my sons watch it. I can't believe they're watching it. I have no desire to watch it.
I have none,
but my sons watch it.
Well, how old are they?
They're 16 and 15.
Yeah,
they're watching these kids.
They can relate to this.
But
I've 2 years ago.
You know what? And I've gone into other people's house, like in my neighborhood, or gone into other people's, and they're watching it. They're sitting there watching it like they're into it.
Well, so why, for someone who's
watching
into youth
stuff.
baseball, why aren't you watching it?
Well, because I've been past the 12-year-old level. I tend to now watch the major leagues. I never got into the Little League Wars, even when my kids were 11 and 12. And these aren't the best players in the country by far. By far, these are not the best players in the country.
They're not?
It's not. I had a 12-year-old team that would have smoked any team in the Little League World Series this year. Smoked them, 15-0
Come on.
Absolutely.
That's a statement.
It's absolutely fact.
So
you know how Little League works. You have to be from the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
So in a travel baseball, you can go out and I can go find the 12 best 12-year-olds in Western PA. Yeah. Little League, you have to have the best 12-year-olds within a 30-mile radius. That's a huge difference.
So these kids playing with this on this
these are by
team,
far not the best players in the country. It's not even close.
So they're not the best players from Philadelphia?
Right, so this girl's great, and she's striking out these kids, but put her up against a travel team, and it's probably not going to happen. It's not. The best players in Florida are not playing Little League baseball.
You're telling me something
They're not doing it.
I can't argue with you because
there isn't a doubt in my mind about it. And they've got these mile per hours up there. Both my sons were throwing in the 60s when they were 12.
What are they throwing?
I mean, not in the 60s. They were throwing 60s when they were 9. 60s when they were 9 and the 70s when they were 12. And they're acting like this is some enormous accomplishment. I think
where are these? I think the perception from most people is that these are the best players.
They're not. Well, then that's a wrong perception. That's what it doesn't matter.
It doesn't make them bad players.
No, it doesn't. It's great theater, and some of them are great players. But collectively, they're not the best players in the country. There's a thing called the National Youth Championships. It's now moved. It used to be played in Memphis. When my sons were 12, you tried to get there in Memphis. That's the Travel Ball World Series. It's televised by MLB Network. Those are the best players in the country. Oh, they're crazy.
That's something brand new
crazy.
to me. I don't watch any of it, so it doesn't.
It's the world of travel baseball is crazy. It's full of crazy people like travel hockey.
Yeah,
it's crazy. John, I'll give you I'll give a little personal story here, but this is the truth. Down in South Haven, Mississippi, at 10 years old, my son Kyler was 10.
Yeah.
Okay. He was playing for a team out of Cincinnati called the Cincinnati Flames, who found all the best 10-year-olds on the East Coast.
Okay, let me stop because the players on the Cincinnati Flames, they weren't all from Cincinnati.
No, there were only like 4 from Cincinnati.
But how did they get
They had my son. They had a kid from New York who was like 6 foot, and he was 10 years old. They found it because, number one, people like me, the crazies, find them.
Yeah.
And they take your kid. And my kid had to go try out. He had to go throw for them, and and that happens all the time. And they say the other kids, and then not only that, but they find them. The Cincinnati Flames find those kids. That's what they do. That's what the Cincinnati Flames and Cincinnati do for a living. It's an organization. They find the best 10-year-olds,
and they would kill this team.
Crushed them. Our 10-year-old team would have crushed that team. Let me finish my story. So we're in South Haven, Mississippi at 10.
Right.
My son's pitching for the Cincinnati Flames against the Houston Banditos, and the starting pitcher on their team is from Florida, a kid named Gunnar Hoagland, who's the best pitcher in Florida at 10. Okay, and by the way, he's an unbelievable stud now. Tore up high school baseball as a freshman down there last year in high school. And both of them are 10 years old. They're both throwing 65, and the final score was 2-0 in extra innings. And the players around them, the team from Houston were players from all there, California, Vegas. Well, when you talk about like a Bryce Harper or a Mike Trout, Mike Trout never played Little League Baseball. Bryce Harper never played Little League Baseball. They played travel ball. Mike Trout played for the Tri-State Arsenal.
Wow.